Welcome
guys.
back to Pardon My Accent, episode 2.
Official episode, second episode of Pardon My Accent. A very special, amazing, fun, full of gems episode. So I recommend you guys to get a notebook,
Take
a
out those
pen,
notepads and make sure y'all jotting notes.
because it's gonna be a good one for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
We have
Yes, it
so
is.
many notes. I have literally a full 2 pages full of notes here.
Full Google Docs
Yep.
of notes and pointers.
Yes.
How excited are you to do this episode?
I'm very excited. I really was looking forward to filming this the whole day
Yep, she really was.
because I know that this episode is going to really help a lot of people, and I know that we have good things to tell people too.
Yeah, I have a feeling too that this is going to bring light to a lot of people. And a lot of people are going to relate to this because I feel like this is something that a lot of people go through, including me, including you. And yeah, so this is going to be really helpful.
100%. So, to start, before we get started with the podcast, I want to say thank you for all of the support, guys. With the first episode, I'm blown away with all of the love and the excitement for the podcast.
It was actually kind of overwhelming how much support and love you guys showed to us. Like literally, like I was in shock. I was just expecting like 10 views, 15 views.
Yeah, we
and
were.
I am beyond grateful to have the
Almost,
amount of views that we have,
Yeah.
the amount of people that
Are
tuned in
supporting.
and stopped by to watch our first episode go live. And yeah, I'm just like excited to be here and doing the second episode and just continuing on this journey.
100%. So, in the first episode, we kind of were a little bit delayed with the whole iTunes thing because we really underestimated how difficult it can actually be to post a podcast in iTunes. We had to go through a whole approval process
by iTunes, yeah.
by iTunes, and
Which
it was a lot.
Which we didn't know until we were gonna go live.
Exactly. So
And then
literally
we
the
had to,
same
like,
day,
we had to wait like a whole day for it to be approved.
and we were like, "Oh my God, it's not gonna go at the same time."
And it
But
wasn't. It didn't happen.
it didn't happen, but it's fine. It's live now. So go ahead and search on iTunes, Pardon My Accent Show.
Pardon
I feel
my
like I'm saying
accent,
that
yeah.
so many times. It's like getting like fuzzy in my mind.
I usually just write it down now. PMA. Pardon my
PMA.
accent.
Yeah. So
Make it
search Pardon My Accent Show on iTunes.
And on
Please.
YouTube if you want to watch the videos.
Yeah. So please leave us a rate and a review on iTunes because that will help us kind of get up in the charts, and it will help us, kind of grow in that space. So any review and support is truly, truly appreciated. And if you guys want to watch us, you guys can go ahead and search us as Pardon My Accent on YouTube, and all of our episodes are going to be live on YouTube as well.
Yep. So what is today's topic, babe? You want to let them know?
Yeah, today's topic is the truth about comparison on social media, strictly on social media, because I feel like we are doing this every day and we are living it every day. So I feel like it's our area to talk about this
Just
topic.
strictly social media. Comparison on social media.
Right. So we have so many notes to talk about this. So, I got comfortable. I got my little, cute little sweater. We have our water. We're ready for this.
We are ready to go. So comparison.
Right.
Comparison.
So
What is comparison?
honestly, there's so many layers to it. It is not one thing, and I feel like we're really gonna unravel that in this episode.
Yeah, we're gonna literally
break it
break it
down.
down to pieces.
Right. So honestly, this week for me was super stressful. And it is only Tuesday, so
Which
yay
is kind of
me.
insane. It feels like it's a third day, literally. So
Yeah.
It is.
So it is insane because our week usually starts on Sunday. We start getting ready for the week on Sunday.
on Sunday night, yeah.
Prepare our schedule, do our board in our office, in our home office, just get aligned with the week. But this week specifically, we were very stressed out. And just, I don't think stressed out is the right word. Well, yeah. For me, stressed out. For you,
a little
what?
stressed out. A little stressed out. Overwhelming
Overwhelmed.
because there's like so much thing that we had to get done
Mm-hmm.
before a certain time. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I wanted to make sure that everything was quality. You know what I mean? I didn't want to just send out something that was half-assed. you know. So that's what
Exactly.
overwhelming is the right word for me.
Yeah, and for me, it's
And it's
stressed.
only Tuesday. Like that's
And
the
it's
crazy
only
part.
Tuesday. Literally, like Rudy said, for him it's overwhelmed. For me, it's stressed out. We had a few campaigns lined up, and they just conveniently happened to fall under like 2 days
Yeah,
that we
they
had to
all
send
wanted.
it.
Yeah, they all wanted the content within the same like time frame.
Exactly. So if you guys don't know, pretty much when you're an influencer and you have the opportunity to work with brands, it is not take a picture and post it. You have to go through this process of sending it to, well, I have an agency. Thank God. They're like the best people. They make our life so much easier. But we have to create the content, make sure that it's good, that it's quality, edited, run it through me and Rudy, make sure that it's good for us, and then we send it over to the brand,
Make
and
sure that
then
it's good for them.
make sure it's good for them. And then sometimes we get back with feedback for us to change things, reshoot, and it's just like a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
But with these campaigns that we're picking, we're very picky lately with opportunities because we want to make sure that we're actually creating content that brings value to you guys, that you guys love, that you guys can share, that you guys can actually feel good about. So when we create content, it is a lot because we want to make sure that it is perfect.
Yeah.
And somehow this week we had how many? One,
About
two-
5.
About five.
About 5. Yeah.
Five.
That's not including all the pictures that we had to take just for your normal Instagram pictures.
Right. So we had so many, a handful of jobs, which I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful for all of it. But the fact that they were all in the same week and we have to send it over, that was the stressful part. So I was just having like such a tough time yesterday because we got, honestly, I'm proud of us. It was super productive and we got almost everything done. But today I woke up feeling super defeated. I felt anxious. I felt so horrible, honestly. And I was like, babe, we have to go to the gym. So we
To
went to
release
the
some stress.
gym. Yes. Time to release my stress. Wasn't the name of the song that just get to my mind?
Never heard it.
TikTok is TikTok songs. So yeah, and then I told Rudy, like, babe, I want you to train me because I don't know, like I really want Rudy I love when Rudy trains me. And we went to the gym. We got the workout done. I felt so good after. There's a power in working out.
Literally, there is. It makes
Really,
you feel good.
it feels so good.
Not only like strength wise, but a sense
Your
of power
soul.
with your soul and your confidence. You know, as a person
Right.
that's walking out in the world.
Yeah,
You know?
and like, and there's power in like today. I actually did like 20 minutes of hit in the treadmill. I was sprinting, okay? I was running and I was
You was
listening to,
out.
yeah, I
You
was
was out
listening to
today.
worship music because like when I run and listen to music, I feel so good. Like I really like release everything. I put it into God's hand. Like I pray while I run and I just like feel so good. So after that, I feel so good. And I was ready to jump into the hit workout.
Did it help like with your stress?
Yes. So
Cause you was really stressed out this morning.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. So that workout after the workout was a lot. Like you were back to normal, you know.
Yeah, I told them what happened in the car. I literally had a breakdown in the car.
Yeah, she did. She literally like screamed and then got her act together and then went out and then to the gym.
I was like, babe, I'm so stressed out. I have so many things to do. So little time. I was like, I was literally so, I didn't scream like that, but I was just like spilling everything out at the same time. And I was like, oh, I'm so stressed. And I went to the gym. I felt so much better after. And it just put a lot into perspective. It taught me that I cannot put too many things on my plate because I don't work very well that way.
Yeah, you don't work like with too much stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Being like
Under
overpowered,
pressure.
under pressure with so much things.
Yeah.
Coming up to date, like that you have to submit.
Exactly. So I just felt so good after, and I'm just so thankful. And Autumn is chewing something down there, and it's coming up in the mic.
I've been trying to like shut him up this whole time. Autumn, man, Autumn wanna be. We gotta get a third mic for Autumn. And just put it right here. Just put
Autumn
it right here,
show.
so that Autumn could just do whatever he wants because
Literally, guys, Autumn, our dog, if you're new to our life, He is one silly pup, let me tell
He's
you.
a very needy pup. Like even when we're taking pictures, he wants to be in the picture.
He,
When we're taking
when we
videos, he wants to
hug,
be in the picture.
can we
In the
talk about
video.
that? When we hug, he is crying because he wants us to pick him up.
He comes on top of it. His dog is something else.
His personality is so precious. I love him. Like,
Yeah.
he's so unique.
And now he wants to be in the podcast.
He wants to be in the podcast. He's literally biting a rubber bone and it's so loud.
And he's coming out. Yep. It's picking it up.
Yeah, so to kind of ease ourselves into a list that I prepared, which is called symptoms of comparison. Before we jump into that, I want to say that when you're comparing yourself, comparing when you're comparing yourself to other people, sometimes you're not even realizing that you're comparing yourself to others.
It just happens like without you even thinking about it.
Without you even thinking about it.
It's second. For some people, it just becomes like second nature. Like just instantly compare themselves to those people.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you're like out, even it don't even have to be in social media. I know we're talking just strictly social media, but it could be like even out in public.
Exactly.
You know, it's so toxic.
It is. And, you know, you're scrolling on your feed for hours and you're seeing so many people doing different things. If you are watching this on YouTube, I just scared with Autumn. Rudy almost kicked the table.
I'm gonna take all the.
I can't. I really hope that this laugh attack goes away. Okay, so Rudy is escorting Autumn out of the office. Bye, Autumn. He's gone.
Okay, back to the episode. Autumn is something else.
So funny. Wow.
Enough of Autumn for today. Enough of Autumn, okay?
Yeah. So, like I was saying.
Autumn.
No, like I had the laugh attack.
Let me just get back into
Woosa?
it. Woosa.
When you're scrolling through your feed for hours and you're seeing people from all over the world doing different things, you don't even catch yourself. That's what I was trying to say. You don't even catch yourself comparing yourself to other people because you're doing it in a way that you are not even realizing.
You're like doing it unconsciously, almost like.
Yes, that's the right word. Unconsciously.
You're just doing it.
Right. And then after you get up from your phone and you have some feelings like anxiety, doubt, and you're like, wow, like, why am I feeling this way? Like, I cannot put my finger on it. Why am I feeling these feelings? And because I've been through that, I kind of got a little bit of just like I wrote down the symptoms that I feel personally that I feel like maybe some people will, you know, take advantage of and like really benefit from this, and you can actually identify why you're feeling those feelings. So
you touched on anxiety. Do you feel like comparison leads to you having anxiety?
Yeah.
Like
that's a big symptom from comparison.
It is, and until today, until you brought that up, I ain't really think of it like that. Because I know you have anxiety from time to time, and you know, I just wanted to ask you, if it's like sometimes does it happen because of the comparison? It
does, and we're gonna I'm gonna talk about different comparisons because it's not always jealousy and envy. Autumn is not gonna know it.
Now Autumn wants to come back inside.
Yep, it's not only that, but it is also, you know, different things that will lead to anxiety.
There's two sides to comparison. There's the good side and then the bad side. Like you were just saying now, how if you were to look at somebody and you feel bad, that's the bad side of comparison.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because then there's some people that use comparing themselves to somebody else as motivation, as fuel for themselves to like push through and like, you know, achieve that whatever that person has, you know, because, you know, for me, I feel like comparing yourself to somebody is bad to a certain extent, you know, because you always have those people that you look up to, that you admire, you idolize, and you kind of want to be like them, and you compare yourself to them, but at some point it's too much. When it went like, and that's what I want to like kind of break down here in this episode is like, when is it too much comparison? When is too much comparison bad?
Exactly.
You know?
And honestly, you know when it's too much, when you start feeling insecure. when you start feeling insecurities about yourself, about anything that you're doing. For example, one thing that I haven't expressed, but I'm sharing now to the part of my accent fam, that I really want to get back to modeling. That it has been one of my biggest goals since I was literally a baby.
Yeah.
And
So
I
if you started
stopped
dating,
it.
you always wanted to be a model.
Yeah, and I stopped it because I just felt like I wasn't capable of doing it. And now I'm getting back to it. And like one thing that I caught myself doing is compare myself, like seeing a model and seeing like them, like, oh, beautiful skin, no stretch marks, like just flawless. And I'm like, wow, I have so many stretch marks, and like I have so many flaws,
You
and I have
begin
like
to
a
start
mark.
comparing yourself
Yeah,
and start pointing out all the wrong things with you.
exactly. And I'm like, oh, maybe I have to, what can I do for my skin to be like that? Because if not, I won't be able to be a model.
That's tiring, isn't it? Like,
It's exhausting. It's exhausting for your mental health because you are constantly like picking yourself apart, and it's
right.
like not good. It's not
When it
healthy.
should be the opposite. Well, the opposite way around. You should be like your biggest supporter. You know, your biggest like number one fan. You know.
And that's why, like, when you start pointing out insecurities, there is not an episode where Rudy's not gonna cuff.
Mm.
Let's just say that. But when you start picking out your flaws, that's when you know that it's getting toxic, and like you shouldn't do that because people are not showing their real life. People are showing their highlight reel.
There's only a chosen few that show their real selves on social
Right.
media, and you can tell it's genuine, and that's dumb being real. You know.
Exactly. And honestly, like, I don't want to say anything negative against those people or those influencers that only show like the good parts of their life, because I respect that.
Right.
If they don't want to show their personal life, that's on them. Like, that's their decision, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But you have to also know who you're following and why you're following them. Because, like, for example, with that model example that I showed, there's nothing wrong with her. It's more like me wanting to pursue modeling and me seeing what standard in society says is beautiful and being like, oh, I have stretch marks. It's not beautiful. It's working on yourself and realizing that there's work to be done inside, and it's not much about other people.
Right. It's about yourself.
Right. And honestly, like, if there are people that are making you feel ugly inside, are making you like not happy, they're not motivating you, 100% feel free to unfollow those people, because they're not building anything positive in your life. And like I said, there are people who are doing great things, and that's like the good thing about social media, but there's also people that are showing their success in an arrogant way. They're showing it to show off. They're doing it to make themselves higher and feel better and get the praise. Those people you have to be careful with, because they can make you feel little, and they can make you feel bad about yourself.
100%. You gotta do a IG detox. And
Yes.
like literally just delete all those people that make you feel like that.
Right. And I do that a lot.
There's a lot of people like that on social media that will make you feel bad, you know, because you start comparing yourself to them, and you start thinking like, why do I have that? And yeah, like I would just hit the unfollow button right away, because like you said, it all comes down to what you're using social media for. You got to know how to use it, and you got to know what's the purpose of you using it. You know what I mean? That'll help you in the long run to like avoid getting into a situation where you're comparing yourself and you're feeling bad and you're feeling down and sad and defeated and etc.
Right. And another thing, I know that I am an influencer myself, and I'm a content creator myself, and it is scary to think that, maybe a post can trigger somebody, something that I say make people feel bad, or whatever the case may be. And I personally, my goal, it is to be inspiring, to be educational, to be uplifting, to show my faith, to just be loving overall. And like, I want people to feel inspired to see whatever I do in life, to know that they can do it as well. And whatever I got, it's not in whatever I got that they may want, I never took that away from them. You know what I'm saying? Because that can be a feeling also. Like, if you see a person doing something great, you may feel like a little bit envious or jealous about that, because you feel like that person took that from you. And that is not the case. And that is something that I really want to make sure that I am not making those things and putting those things out there, because I want people to feel inspired and feel loved when they see my page. That's why I'm like super careful with what I post, and truly I'm being myself 100% on my social medias. I'm real about my faith, and people has come forward and told me some things. Like I had a few instances where people come to me talking about my faith and like in a negative way. And I'm never gonna stop sharing and being who I am. Thankfully, literally 99% of my audience are positive, and like only like a 0.1% are negative, and that is something
you always
that
have that 0.1.
right. So that is something that I'm really careful of as an influencer. Another point is feeling defeated, feeling like you cannot do it all because you see a lot of people doing everything, and you might be working a 9 to 5, and you might be working an overnight shift because you have to pay rent, and you see entrepreneurs and people doing great things, and you're like, oh my god, like I cannot do that.
Yeah, or like them doing something that you want to do and it works out for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yet you gotta understand something, that those people went through a process as well. You know, and they went through a funk where the same situation that you're in, where you feel like you're defeated and you're not getting anywhere. They've been through that as well. You know what I mean? It just, like you said, in social media you only see the after, the success, the achievements, but they don't show the process. There's only a few people that actually show the process, and that's why many times Gary Vee has said that just record everything so that people can see the process, and you see that it's not easy. Like, it's not as easy as it looks on the other side of the camera.
It's not as glamorous.
It's a lot more that goes into it. Like, just the picture that you've taken and you post online, there's a lot more that goes behind that just one picture. You know what I mean? Like, the stress, first of all, that comes before taking the picture, because we have a ton of other things to do, where we're going to find the location, the time and the sunrise, is it too hard? Like, it's a whole lot of things, you know what I mean? And those things make you an imperfect person, you know what I mean? Like, and then people see you from the other side, don't see that process. They think that you're perfect, and they start comparing themselves to you, and they think that my
life is perfect when it's not.
Yeah, when it's really not. It's really not.
That's good.
And people gotta understand that there's more to everything.
Yeah, and honestly,
more to the story.
People can go back to my YouTube videos and see me in my purple room in my dad's house. That's how I started everything. And we're gonna do a whole podcast about the journey, because I feel like it all ties into our relationship, because I feel like I built this with you in a way. You helped me so much in the starting phases of it. But please don't see somebody doing amazing things, an entrepreneur running 2 businesses, running a family, traveling, and thinking, wow, they can do it all and I can't. Please don't, because people are showing great things, but also there's a lot of effort, and for you to get to that level, and for you to be the entrepreneur, you have to start from the bottom.
100%.
So don't feel defeated over that. Another symptom of comparison is thinking that you're not enough, or what you have is not enough, which is something huge.
That is a good one.
Taking what you have for granted and not counting your blessings. Because you're seeing people traveling, and you see this person having an amazing body, and you see this person having a loving relationship, and that just clouds your mind, and you're not realizing how grateful and just how blessed you are, that you have a bed, that you have food on your fridge, that you have a roof over your head. There are people right now, as we speak, not having those basic needs for just life. And we're here stressing because we don't have a trip to Bali, and we don't have a trip to Tulum. Like,
I'm gonna keep.
Come on.
I'm gonna keep the what I want to say for the end, because at the end we're gonna say our tips to like overcome comparison, but it's gonna really help out with that point where you feel like, what did I just say just now?
That feeling ungrateful, and
feeling ungrateful for the thing that you have or you don't have, you know.
Exactly. So that's a really good point, and that's a really good symptom to really watch out for. Another one is feeling unmotivated, and the last one is anxiety. So when you're feeling unmotivated, when you have anxiety about things, please watch what you're doing. Track your daily activities and see if it is comparison, because those are 2 common symptoms for comparison that you have to look out for. So those are the symptoms for comparison. I hope you guys wrote those down, and maybe comment below if you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on iTunes. Comment what do you feel and experience when you're going through comparison, because we would love to know. I know people might read it and they can relate to you, so definitely leave it below.
I'm interested because like we've been breaking it down, and it's like, whoa, as we've been hitting these points, it's like, damn, that is so true. Like, it's like hitting the nail,
Exactly.
every time. And
Yeah.
it's so interesting. It's so interesting. So definitely do leave down below the type of feeling that you get when you're comparing yourself to somebody. In a negative, it can even be a positive way. That we want to know. So
Exactly. So some personal experiences that I've had. For a while, my dream was to go to New York Fashion Week. That was like my biggest goal, and I'm like, I literally still tell everybody, I'm like, yo, if I go to New York Fashion Week, I made it, okay? And that was me dreaming in my little bedroom, sharing my stepsister when I was living in my dad's house. And now that I had the opportunity to attend 2 seasons of New York Fashion Week, it's amazing. It's a blessing. You meet so many amazing people. You get to experience so many things and just see things that are so awesome in the fashion world. But one thing that I always battled with is friendships, and I've been super vocal about it on my social media. So I always pray for a good group of friends. And attending these shows, you see a lot of cliques and you see a lot of like influencer girls with like their friends, and it's so amazing. It's so cool. And I always really like, I don't know why I just never found that group of influencer friends that I can just go to your fashion week and like whatever it is. And I just always felt like I wasn't cool enough. I felt like I just wasn't cool enough. I don't know. I just felt like I never belonged in those groups.
it's sort of like high school, when you
Yes,
see those
that's a
cliques in
perfect
high school,
example.
and you're like, I want to be in that clique, but then you can't because you're not cool enough, or you don't dress a certain way, or you don't talk a certain way, or you don't do a certain thing, or play bus sport,
Exactly. So that's how it feels with this. And it took me a while to realize that I don't have to fit in. It took me a while to understand that what type of friendships I need and what type of love I can give, because it's not about getting, it's also about giving. And for a while I felt like I was giving so much of myself, and I was just being that friend that helped you out. And like when it comes to like social media, let's say, like I always was that friend to be like, oh, like I can help you out with this, I was always open to that. And I wasn't taking into account that I was being taken advantage of for a while. And that's just really discouraged me, because I'm like, I don't know how am I gonna make friends with people who just want things from me. It's like, like it's so hard, And I was always praying about that. But thank God I actually have a few girls in the industry that I really love, and they're really cool, and they're actually like super nice. But I came to the conclusion that I don't have to fit in where I don't belong. And I'm not gonna force friendships. And I feel like if people are out there and they're like wanting to start social media and whatnot, and they see like these girls traveling and doing all these things, please don't feel or try to change yourself to fit in, because I know that God has a purpose on who he wants around you, because that really does influence a lot.
You just gotta stay true to yourself,
please, because it would really take you a long way. So that was my experience with that, and it was awesome. It was a dream come true, but it also came from that, it came a lot of realization of really what I want, and also showing me that what is on social media is not true. And you can see a lot of things in person, you're like, wow, that is crazy.
It's completely different when you're
it's completely different.
For
sure. And for the last thing I want to say regarding comparison before we hit our 5 points is, don't get caught up in the numbers. That is huge on social media, getting caught up in the numbers.
It's just a number. You know what I'm saying?
But honestly, you can say it's better said than done. It's easier said than done, because I get caught up in like, oh my God, people aren't following me. This picture didn't do good. I worked so hard on that photo, or whatever it is that's happening. Like, that's actually real.
I got a question. Did they ever go through with deleting the likes on Instagram?
Honestly,
like what ended up happening to that?
it did. but it's only happening to certain people in the US. I know, like in Australia, in other
So is it
countries,
still like
it's
in a
completely
testing
gone.
phase?
I don't think I think it's been past the testing. If anybody has
Because
any
I mean, they said it was gonna happen,
information regarding
it
that,
never like gone through to everybody. I know I've
I
heard
still
a few
have my
people say
likes.
that they don't have their likes,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Even
I
in
hear
our family, like Nicole also have her, Iman also have their like.
really.
Yeah, they don't.
So it was just random.
I think it is random. So let me know in the comments. Let us know if you still have your likes, because that's a really good question. I still have my likes.
Yeah, but what if there was no likes? Like, you know,
Honestly,
you say that it is more than just numbers, because it is true. It is true, because at the end of the day, you post a picture and you in hopes that you get those high numbers. You know, that's what
get the
everybody wants.
engagement.
But at the end of the day, it is just numbers.
Right,
You know
but
what I mean?
it's just like there's something about numbers that make you feel
For
rewarded if you
sure.
did good,
Yeah.
and if you didn't do good, it will make you feel bad. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
can work so hard on a photo, and it doesn't do good, and you're like, oh my god, it didn't hit that number, and it's like so hard. But like, that's the thing about comparison. Like,
That
it
is the thing
shouldn't be
about
about
comparison.
the
It shouldn't be
freaking
about the number.
numbers.
It shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be
It
about the numbers.
shouldn't.
It should be
But
about.
it's still real, and it still affects people. It is
It
real.
shouldn't affect people. I mean, I'll go into saying one tip is don't
Yeah.
worry about the numbers.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Stop worrying about the numbers, because
But how can you get to that point where you can stop worrying about the numbers? You know what I'm saying? Because
The
if
way
you're
you
like trapped into that, like, oh, like I feel validated
I feel
by
like
the
the way you get
numbers.
to that number, without thinking about it, is just doing it because you love what you're doing, and you're gonna do it no matter what. You know what I mean? Because I've also found myself comparing myself, like in the fitness industry, especially when I started out. I wasn't gaining any weight. I wasn't building any type of muscle, and I was comparing myself to these guys that are like literally 5, 7 years older than me, 10 years older than me, and they've been working out for 10 years more than I have, and I was comparing myself to them. Why am I not gaining weight? Why am I not putting on the muscle? But then after a while, like, I just detached myself from that. I stopped thinking about that, and I love the gym because I love going to the gym. I love
That's
how it
good.
makes me feel. Working out every day is like, I find joy in that. So I just stopped looking at people. I stopped looking at videos. I stopped looking at pictures. And I just kind of just kept going to the gym every single day, like I've been doing, and you have noticed that. I've literally been going for like 4 months straight, and I haven't missed.
You've been so good at that.
Yeah, I haven't missed like a day that's not my rest day. I haven't missed a gym.
That's good.
Unless I was out in New York for New Year Fashion Week.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm trying to get at is, after a while, when I like just stopped and detached myself from social media and like looking at other people, I found that I was making a lot more progress.
Right.
I found that I was more grateful for the progress that I was making, and I also came into like the truth within myself, like that it's a journey for everybody. You know what I mean? It is a journey, because, like I said, those people are 10 years experience, more 10 plus years experience than I have. You know what I mean? So of course they're gonna look bigger than me. Of course they're gonna look better than me. But after I stopped comparing myself to them, and after I stopped looking at them, I felt like my numbers in the scale skyrocketed.
That's so good.
Every time I look at myself in the mirror, like, I just be like, yo, I'm looking a lot bigger, and I'm looking good, and I feel good about myself.
That's
Because
really
there was,
good.
even back then when I used to compare myself, I just feel like I wasn't enough. I felt like I wasn't big enough. I wasn't looking good. But now it's the complete opposite.
My second tip, it is to remember who you are. There is a scripture that I love. It's actually Psalms 139 verse 14. I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Please don't forget that you are a child of God. You are perfect the way you are, and God made you unique, and He made your purpose unique. And I just want you guys to not lose sight of that, because it's so important. Third point, it is to stop criticizing or being envious and start celebrating others. Remember that other success doesn't take away from your blessing. We touched on that really briefly, but when you start feeling envious or jealousy, celebrate others, comment on them, be like, hi, like, I am, this is great for you. And obviously, if it comes from a good place, but start celebrating others because that really will take you a long way. Um, Fourth tip, and I feel like it's a big one, take a break from social media. Take a detox. I feel like if you really are going through it, please take a detox. Just delete the app for a day, for a week, for a few months. Tarika, she actually reached out. She took a 6 months
Oh wow, look at
detox.
that. That's crazy.
I usually take a 1 day detox and I go crazy, and that means that I have to take it more often because I'm too attached to Instagram. But taking a detox and taking a break is so important. And my last tip, it is to focus on your craft, focus on your purpose, focus on you, and stop looking at what others are doing. You waste so much time by looking at other people. Stop. Literally, like, focus on yourself and focus on your purpose because that will literally take you a super long way.
Yeah, those are good. Those are really good points. You stole two of my points.
I think it's still none of your points, Mr. Sassy Pants.
I don't know if you were peeking at my nose when I was taking them, but
no, I didn't.
I don't got five. I don't got 5 points, but I do got 3 points. 3 tips that I want to give you guys to overcome comparison. The first one being just write down 5 things that you're grateful for in your life. It could be small, big. Just write it down. Put it down on paper because a lot of people tend to forget, like, those things that
are important.
that are important in our life and that we're happy, that we should be grateful for to have in our life. You know what I mean? So make sure you write down 5 things. When you're feeling down, when you're feeling like you're comparing yourself to somebody, write them down. Be what you're grateful for.
That's good.
The second one is write down 5 great qualities about yourself. So like comparison comes down to you're comparing yourself to somebody's belongings or how they are as a person. So if you ever find yourself in that, just write down 5 things that are great about you, like quality wise.
That's really
the
good.
The third one is compliment more people, which you said is praise people.
Congratulate them.
But yeah, compliment
Celebrate.
them, like praise their accomplishment. Just like let them know that that they did a good thing, that that you admire them, that you look up to them. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't make any sense you bringing down anybody because you're comparing yourself to them because they have that thing that you want. Just let them know that you're somebody, you're in that journey as well, and that they helped you through a certain area in your life.
Exactly.
And that you're grateful for them.
Exactly. And please remember that if a person has something that you want, they are not taking anything away from what you're going to have. What you're going to have on this earth is unique to you, and only you can do that. When you start really diving in the word, you will realize that God says it all over. He created you for a purpose. You're here for a reason, and whatever you're meant to do, only you can do. So don't feel discouraged by other people doing what they're doing. Please remember your purpose and don't ever bring yourself down because of doubt, because of anxiety, because of comparison, because it's so minute what you might be feeling when you compare that to somebody else going through cancer, when you compare that to somebody else going through big life struggles. And I'm not saying that comparison is not a big thing because it is a mental health issue, but you can control it when you actually put the effort to do so. And I really hope that these tips really helped you guys out, and we're just so excited. This was definitely a long podcast, but I feel like it really helped a lot of people out.
41 minutes. This is the longest we've done a podcast for.
Yeah, for sure. So this is the end of this podcast. We really hope that you guys enjoyed it. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our iTunes, and rate our podcast.
Yeah, make sure you guys comment. Let us know how you guys feeling, how you guys like this podcast. Because honestly, we really love reading you guys comment.
It keeps us going.
Yeah, for sure. Like we find joy in just reading the comments and just constantly refreshing that page and even watching our own videos, which as of recently, like I've been becoming more like comfortable with hearing myself speak. So
That's
yeah,
good.
so
And like always, thank you for following along, and we will see you guys on our next episode.
peace.
Bye.